Hello, everyone. How are you? This is the September 2024 astrology. And in keeping with the new moon in Virgo that's happening right at the beginning of September, I'm announcing a couple of changes to the channel. And the first, as you can see on this screen up here, is that actually I have sort of done away with the memberships for multiple reasons. And so that content is now going to be back on the main channel for everyone. And actually this one, which is the September 2024 astrology, is valid for everybody, not just Aries. So if you have a friend who's a non-Aries who wants to take a look at it, feel free to share. Whereas the tarot readings are more specific to our sign, the astrology is generalized to everyone. So that is the first piece of news. The second piece of news is that I'm in London, and it's astonishing how much everything costs. And so I don't remember where I was, but I was like, you know what? I'm tired of other people not having access to things because they're so expensive. And so I really wanted to do something that was available to everybody. And so I'm introducing an €8, 8 obviously because of the abundance, euro because that's my home currency, reading, which is one question, right? And it depends on how long it takes to answer it. It can't be too in depth because otherwise that doesn't make sense. But figure 5-10 minutes, you send me your question, I'll pull some cards and send you an audio recording of the guidance that I'm being given regarding your situation. I will read for love things as long as they are not, when is he, she going to call? Does he, she love me? What's he thinking? It has to be formulated in a way that is in your own best interest and is not reading into someone else and anything else. So that is the top news at the beginning. Sorry, my hair is like in my eye. And I'll have more. I have another professional project that I'm working on, which will connect over here as well, and I'll tell you more about that in the future. But let's go ahead and get started with the astrology. Now, this is one of the reasons, I don't usually show up on camera but staring at this screen for 20 minutes is going to be really boring for you. So I figured I would come on as I talk you through it. Now, September is a very busy month. We start the eclipses on the 17th. We have Pluto going back into Capricorn again for its finalissimo last trip, but at an anaretic degree, 29. So that is like you've got to get to the airport, the taxi's waiting outside, everything's in there, you forgot your passport, got to run in and get it. So that's kind of energy. You may feel some sense of urgency on massive change, like something that is incredibly decisive, because of course if you leave for the airport, you don't have your passport, not getting on the plane, right? So it's something very important that seems minor, but can change the destiny of something. On the same day, we have Uranus going retrograde, and it's really weird because, of course, I watch other readers and read other things, and 3 accounts, websites that I follow just skipped it, didn't even mention it, the Uranus retrograde, which I think is really weird because when Uranus retrogrades, we tend to notice it because he is the planet of unexpected movement, right? Can be like electrical fires or earthquakes. He sends shock waves. Now, these shock waves can be positive or negative. It could be something that you're like, oh, yay, I'm so excited about that, or something like, oh, I really did not see that coming and I wish I hadn't. Given that it is also in the eclipse season, my sense is that there's definitely some clarity, right? You'll see things in a different way. You'll understand things in a different way. It's going to be kind of like a lightning bolt, like, oh, okay, so that's what that is, for better or for worse. Now, for the Aries who watch this, obviously Uranus is transiting our second solar house right now because it's in Taurus. So many of you may have been having pleasant or unpleasant surprises around finances. I know I have. When it retrogrades, I find, it's my experience, that things tend to be less happening outside and more happening inside. So if when Uranus is direct, there is the world surprising you about your finances, or money, or the things that you value. When it goes retrograde, you turn that energy inside. Like, okay, well, what's a surprising way I could deal with this? Like, what's a unique way I could make money? Or is there something that's like really offbeat, but I really love? Sorry about the noise. I'm in London. The window's open. Little traffic underneath. But there could be some sort of eureka, some sort of unexpected thing. Being okay with valuing something that is out of the ordinary, or being okay with, suddenly everybody finds out you read astrology for the internet, things like that. And then on the 1st, the moon goes into Virgo. So you will feel that there's a lot of Virgo energy to begin with right now. But when the moon goes into Virgo, it's when you're really compulsively like, I need to get through my to-do list. And then on the 2nd, we have a new moon in Virgo, which is lovely if you are trying to start a diet, new health regime and routine. If you are looking to put new order into your daily life, really about the concrete runnings of your day to day. This is a fantastic time to really put new boundaries, put new organization into place. Now, on Tuesday, we have Mars in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces. This is usually a lie. It can be a lie from outside. It can be a lie that we tell, or it's an inability to see the truth, right? Whether intentional or non-intentional. So pay attention on that day. Don't trust everything that you hear, also because Mercury is still, even though it's direct, is not out of its shadow yet. So there's a story that needs to be rewritten. All of the information is not out, especially because there's a Pisces lunar eclipse exactly 2 weeks later on that Tuesday. Wednesday, Mars moves into Cancer for Aries. This will affect us quite a bit. We will definitely feel less scattered than we have over the last couple of weeks, although I love it. I have Mars in Gemini natally. It tends to be a bit much after a while. But Mars in Cancer is fluctuating, right? It will depend on the moon. And so as long as Mars is in Cancer, it is very important for all Aries to pay attention to where the moon is, because that is going to strongly affect not only how you feel, your energy levels, but how you go about acting, right? Like how you get things done, how you proceed. So perfect. That day the moon goes into Libra. It's all about diplomacy. It's all about balanced thinking. It's all about beautiful environments, right? So those days are going about things aggressively is not wise, right? Or it's about being pleasant, meeting people, getting out there chatting, being, like a kind of like a social dandy. As long as the Mars is in Cancer, pay attention to where the moon is. Important for everyone, mostly important for people who are ruled by Mars. That will also mean that energy levels are going to be fluctuating. So you may have days where you're like, I'm able to get the everything in the universe accomplished, and then you'll have days where you cannot get out of bed. So just understand it's going to be like that for a little while. That's that energy, but you should feel that shift pretty strongly. So nothing happens Thursday, Friday. On Saturday the 7th, we have Mercury in Leo square Uranus in Taurus. Now this is two fixed signs, right? Because you have Leo's fixed, Taurus is fixed, and the moon is in Scorpio. That's another fixed sign. So this is a day where you can find that people are being absolutely unflexible. Like there's no way to find a solution. Nobody is willing to give up their position. No one is willing to give up control. There may be some shocking things said, Mercury square Uranus. This is also a day that I tend to, like whenever Mercury is squaring Uranus, also Mars, but that's not the case here, pay extra attention to vehicles, things of communication, trains, stuff like that, because there's difficult energy there. Sun in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces. Sun opposing Saturn is always a little bit of a tug of war of what I want to do and what I should do. The Sun in Virgo may be like obsessing about getting something done in one way, and the Saturn in Pisces is like, but do you even want that? It's trying to find a balance between what you genuinely want, how you use your healing patterns, and how you go about getting it. Like, as the Italians say, done is better than perfect. So, the Sun in Virgo is going to want to be like, no, it's got to be exactly the way we are. And Saturn in Pisces is like, listen, it's good enough if you get it out the door. On the 9th, Mercury re-enters Virgo. And there was a moment when, we have Jupiter in Gemini right now and this Mercury in Virgo, where communications were just absolutely insane. That may pick up again when it moves back into Virgo, because you have a lot of energy there. Moon moves into Sagittarius, heavy mutable energy going on. On the 11th, the moon moves into Capricorn. That's very serious, a little detached, all about one step at a time. Let's not rush. The Sun in Virgo squares Jupiter in Gemini on the 12th. This can be an overdoing it, right? Especially because that's the mutable energy. So Sun in Virgo is obsessing on how to do things, where the Jupiter in Gemini is like, let's do everything. Let's do all the things. And Virgo gets overwhelmed because he's like, I cannot. Like, you're going to have to pick here. So it's kind of, there may be a moment of overwhelm there with the intention of what's a priority, and also where are we like overdoing it in terms of our to-do list. Like, does it need to be this nitpicky, or can we just get it out the door? On the 14th, the moon moves into Aquarius, very detached, brilliant, thinking about humanity, right? I'm focusing on these again because of that Mars in Cancer. So like connecting with humanity, what's for the better good of everyone. On the 15th, finally, like a really nice aspect, because we have all these squares here at the beginning of the month, which is, it's choice points. Squares are choices. Do you want this or do you want that? You can have this or you can have that. Venus in Libra trines Jupiter in Gemini. Venus loves to be in Libra. Obviously, that's one of the signs that she rules. And Jupiter in Gemini, this can bring a lot of feelings of love, a lot of feelings of lot of communications around things, like lovely communications. Let's put it that way. Moon into Pisces on the 16th. Now remember, the moon in Pisces can go one of two ways because the fish swimming in the two directions. You can feel elated, euphoric, so happy. You can also feel like your soul has bottomed out of nowhere. So just keep that in mind if all of a sudden you're, very not dark, but like hopeless almost. That's the moon. Just go with it. Tap into your spiritual energy during those days. We have a Pisces lunar eclipse on the 17th. Now, the luminaries, when they eclipse, it's always about seeing things differently, right? The lights go out. Something is obscured and then revealed. So this is usually, and there's a couple of things that point to information coming out. Eclipses are very much fast forward buttons on the remote control. So if you had something that you've meant to do, were supposed to do, and you've been dragging your feet, or you haven't taken the steps to do something, so the universe has to like take it away from you, those kind of things. It's where the universe really organizes itself to push you forward, push you towards your destiny, towards your path, peacefully or non-peacefully, depending on the work that you've done. On the 18th, Mercury in Virgo, opposite Saturn in Pisces. So that's going to echo that Sun in Virgo that happens on the 8th. So we have that on the 8th and then the 18th, where it's like, what do you want? And now how are you communicating that? Are the things that you're saying you want to do healing you? Are they healing everybody? Are they healing humanity? Are they taking you to higher levels? Or are you still kind of staying on the ground? Moon in Aries, so that'll be a nice couple of days there for Aries with the Mars in Cancer. Sun in Virgo, trine Uranus in Taurus. This is also a very nice aspect because it's like getting shit done, right? Maybe even finding like a clever way to get things done. Work the power of like brilliant illumination and surprise works positively with your to-do list. The next day on Friday the 20th, the Sun in Virgo opposite Neptune in Pisces. There we had another one. There was a Neptune opposition before. No, it was the square from Mercury. So this will echo also the Saturn, because the Saturn is about, have you put the things into place, the boundaries into place, the steps into place. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, really where you touch God, right? Where you find love in a very different way. So that can be, if it was like, are you sure it's healing? This one is like, is this good for all times? Is this good for all mankind? Is this good for, that's really about your place in the universe. Which is nice because then it's paired with the moon in Taurus, which is very, I don't want to get off the couch. I just like, leave me alone and let me watch my shows. Mercury in Virgo square Jupiter in Gemini. So that is also echoing the energy on the 12th, so the 12, the 21, and you see that relationship, the 8th, the 18th, the 12, the 21. So they're all connected there. So pay attention to what happens on those 8th and 12th days to get clues about what's going to come up again on the 18th and the 21st. And then the 22nd is our busiest day. We have the Sun in Virgo trining Pluto in Capricorn. That is, I forgot the passport, but if I do this, I think I can still make it. And It's like it's working together, figuring out how to make that transformation happen, that important step happen, in a way that's practical. The sun moves into Libra. Venus in Libra square Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, so this is not nice. It's not a nice aspect because Venus is in Libra. She's just like enjoying herself. She had so much fun. She's at the party, and she has a showdown with Pluto, who is at the 29th degree, where he's like, you promised me this. You promised you were going to do this. You said you were going to change this. And now you're out here like not taking it seriously. You're still thinking about it. You haven't actually committed to it. So when is that going to happen? And when is that going to happen is a few minutes later when Venus moves into Scorpio. Now, this is there are a few transitions that when it happens, you can feel it immediately. When Venus goes from Libra and into Scorpio, it's like night and day because you're like, oh, this is so nice. Like, what a beautiful sunset. And then it immediately become very serious about everything. I don't want to talk to them. I only want to talk to people that have loved me forever or that I want to love forever. It becomes a very serious shift in energy. And even more so because Venus gets slapped by Pluto before she walks into Scorpio, right? Which is ruled by Pluto. So they have an argument there. Venus square Pluto, there is frequently loss involved. You may decide in that moment that you have to leave a relationship, that you have to leave a partnership, that you have to leave a job, a career. It may have been marinating the entire month on a mental level. And then when you get to the 22nd, you're like, okay, enough thinking about it. Now I actually have to make this happen. And then the moon is in Gemini that day. On the 24th, Mercury in Virgo trine Uranus in Taurus. This is a nice, helpful energy. Again, recalling the 19th. There from the 19th and the 24th. Moon is in Cancer. So if you're feeling very down in those days, do not be surprised. Feed yourself, nourish yourself, take care of your home. Rest. Mercury in Virgo opposite Neptune in Pisces. There was something else here. Where was it? This is also not being able to see clearly, not being able to see the information clearly. Like, did they really say that? Or like, I still don't know what to do kind of energy. Also because we have 3 eclipses this season. So between the 17th of September and the end of October, expect things to shift in a very important manner. You may also, especially because of the presence of Pluto at the anaretic degree there, you may find yourself feeling very pressured to make some important decisions. I'm not saying not to, but sometimes the eclipse energy can, it's like if you just wait a second and let the dust settle, then you can come at it from a clear, conscious mind as opposed to an emotional mind. Okay, so Mercury in Virgo trine Pluto in Capricorn. This is understanding, we had that Sun in Virgo trine Pluto in Capricorn, and now Mercury is there again 4 days later. This is understanding what needs to be done. Mercury shifts into Libra, finally out of Virgo. Things will feel more balanced then, less chicken with its head cut off. Moon in Leo, very creative energy. Also about doing things that make you happy. And then we have the moon in Virgo again, started the month out with that. We're closing it out. Oh, and also that 17th is the Pisces eclipse is a super moon. I'll actually do a reading just specifically on that, but and then on the 30th, we have Mars in Cancer trine Saturn in Pisces. Now, this is very much about tapping into your intuition to to make plans, moving forward, really understanding and relying on and trusting that the way you feel about things is not moving forward until you feel the right way about it, or only moving towards things that you feel positively about, right? Like trust your intuition, trust your gut energy, all the time, but especially on that day. And then the Sun in Libra conjunct Mercury in Libra, which is, kind of like illumination, really understanding the desires and the thoughts are aligned that day. And that is the month of September. Thank you for listening. And I will be back next week with the tarot. I'll do the tarot portion of the first half of the month, and then we'll take a look at the weeklies as well. Okay? Take care. Thanks so much.